or more rebounds. The next closest is 5 games. Tomorrow, the Gators will take on Ole Miss for a noon tip-off on 1010XL 92.5 FM. It's 83 degrees at 2 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
When we last left you, the United States was tied with Canada heading to overtime. Just a mere few minutes later, the United States would win
Let's go.
gold, and I'm so happy.
By Boston College's own Megan Keller. How about that?
That's
Not
right.
bad. That was pretty awesome watching them tie it all.
It was.
my
We were
gosh.
still at the studio.
Yeah.
And,
with the
and
win.
got
As we were walking
was
out, they got the
insane.
winning goal too. Yes.
Really,
Beautiful.
really
Yeah.
appreciate that, ladies. We needed to take it to
That's
Canada,
right.
and we did. And then the men play at 3:10, so we'll have some more live hockey to watch today as the guys take on Slovakia.
Yep.
We already know that if they win, they will face Canada for the
Canada,
gold
yeah.
They
medal.
came back. They were down 2-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ended up
2-0
winning.
deficit.
Yeah.
And came back to win.
Some questionable things at the end. There was like a offsides that people think they missed and a goalie interference, but
Okay.
it is what it is. Most times the offsides was an offsides, but it was by like a milli-inch, and so most times you're not going to call that. But if somebody was like, "What is this offsides?" you'd say yes, but they're not going to call that in the moment, and so
In soccer, they have VAR, and they'll review it.
they
sometimes
reviewed
review
it and they
offsides.
still said,
Okay.
but now there's screenshots where it was definitely he was over the line. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
want to play honestly,
You
like,
wanna play
you
Canada.
want it
Yeah.
USA Canada.
You got to
Like,
get
you
there
wanna-
first.
Yeah.
So don't overlook
That's right.
Slovakia.
Well, I'm just saying the people
But
in the
yeah.
world should
Yeah.
want USA Canada. Like
Yeah.
that's what they should
A
want.
North American duel.
That's
Yeah.
right. Were y'all watching the figure skating last night when the American won gold to Alyssa Liu?
I did not, but I
don't
got the
think so, no.
notification for
I
it.
don't
was-
think so.
Well, I
Not
got
from
the
what I remember,
notification during the day, and
Yeah.
then because obviously they'll play it during the day and then also
Yeah, right.
replay it at
Again.
night. So she's got such a cool story. She was, grew up basically grew up as a figure skater, and then the goal obviously is the Olympics. But she was so overwhelmed, and I understand this from back when I swam competitively. It was 2 practices a day, 3 hours of practice.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah,
got
yeah.
to the point I was so burned out by
Yeah.
the age of 11. That's why I didn't continue. And I can only imagine when you're training for the Olympics,
Olympics,
it's so
yeah.
much worse than that, right? Or harder than that. And so she quit. She just retired in 2022, and she's a young woman. She's like in her early 20s. But she said, "I don't want to do this. My life is not my life anymore."
Yeah.
And then eventually she decided she wanted to come back, but
Got
she
the
just wanted to
buzz.
like hang out with friends
Yeah.
and drive her
Do normal
siblings to
things a
school.
little
yeah,
bit,
just
yeah.
to be normal. And then she comes back and she won gold last night. So if you haven't
Good for
seen the
Yeah.
free skate, definitely go back and watch it.
love that.
Amazing.
So cool.
Yeah, and I think sometimes you need that. You just need the like refresh button, you
Yeah.
know, like the reset of
Yep.
let me get things
for
right.
sure.
And yeah, you want to feel normal, especially a lot of the one I saw one of the girls that won yesterday was only 16 years old, and I was like, goodness gracious. But I will say the Olympics make me feel better than like the NFL, for example, because the Olympics will be like, she's only 29 years old, and in the NFL they'll be like, he's old, he's 30.
That's right. That's right.
Like,
And there's some
Alright.
Olympic athletes that are in their 40s that
40s,
are
yeah.
competing, which is impressive too.
yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, look, that's to get to that level too, that dedication. I mean, you talk about being burnt out. That happens in dance, you see dancers do it. These young kids, the lacrosse, the baseball, the soccer, the swimming, the schedules are unbelievable. Swimming's unbelievable. Like that schedule's insane. Especially when you got to swim before and after school sometimes.
And if you're traveling to a pool, because at one point in
Unbelievable.
time I swam for bowls, so I was going from the beach
yeah.
to bowls.
Yeah. Yeah, but I could see the burnout. That's why the Olympians that they make it, because it does. It takes a lot of grit. There are probably times, moments where you're like, it's not going to happen. I don't feel at my best. I don't like it anymore. And then you find a way to figure it out and work through it. And next thing you know, you're Olympic champion. Not too many people can say that. That's why it's so special.
Yeah.
I still think there should be an age limit. I don't know. I think 40-year-olds, I think your time's up, like for the Olympics, I don't know.
You
but
want
whatever.
an age limit for everything.
What's that?
You want an age limit for everything.
Well, college ball for sure. I mean, come on. We got like 30-years-olds playing in the college football these days. But I went to JUCO for 2 years. Oh, you're right. Get an extra 2 years. Why not? No, I mean, they're just giving those years away. But no, listen, it's still even whatever age, it's hard to do. Well, one thing we did watch, the skiing tube, where they slide down and do the tricks.
Yeah,
but they were on 2 skis. We watched the girls do that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch, man.
I
It's
saw the one
amazing.
girl fall immediately.
Yeah,
You get the
yeah,
second
yeah,
try, but
right.
it was like one of the and they did a whole special on her story, and then her first run she falls, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go down that slope
Yeah.
on skis
imagine
or on a
speed.
snowboard.
like
No,
me either.
it's
Well, the
too
skis,
steep.
snowboard, I get. Not that I'm sure it's still wicked hard, but to have 2 skis and then land,
Yeah, because you
gotta
have to
land
do
right.
it perfectly. That's how she
Sure.
ended up falling,
Right.
because you like crisscross them, and the way
Yeah.
it like barely hit the top. And so if you don't land perfectly, the
They knock-
ski flies
yeah.
off, and it's a whole disaster. She fell. It looked like it hurt too.
Yeah.
I was like,
They
and then you
knock
got to
down
do
your
it again.
score, too,
Right.
though, if you're
Yeah.
not perfect,
Yeah.
like the way you land and
This,
all that kind of
we're
stuff.
it's now
Yeah.
half pipe.
What do they
That's
call it? The half, what do I call it?
It's like,
Tube?
what the
It's a
tube?
tube,
It's the
looks like a
tube.
tube.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about when the skis are in those like tracks basically, and they go down the
Oh,
super
down
steep
the
thing, and then
jump.
they
That's
go
ski jumping.
the
Yeah,
ski jump,
that's cool, too.
That's the part that I said
Right.
I wouldn't even go down that part of things.
No. You ever
But yeah,
gone down like a toboggan? You ever been in a toboggan?
No,
No, have you?
I have not.
No, it's
actually.
like big.
I'm from Florida.
big I know, but maybe you took a trip up north. I don't know.
No.
Just big ass sleds, basically, that
Oh.
multiple people sit
I know
in.
what they are, but
that
no.
behind each other,
Mhm.
and then you take off and
It's like a sled. Yeah.
yeah, and usually you shoot out. It's usually over a frozen lake, that kind of thing.
That's fun. I
Anyway.
have not been on. I would
Yeah.
do that. I
Yeah,
love.
it's kind of fun.
We would sled and we would like tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in a
Yeah,
tube.
tube
yeah.
is fun.
Not a toboggan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, is that a beanie?
Yes.
Okay.
Also known as a beanie.
What is?
A
A
toboggan.
toboggan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's another
Didn't
term
know
for beanie.
We've learned a lot.
Interesting. Look
Yeah,
I feel like
this is very educational.
yeah, I feel
Oh,
like the
fuck.
Olympics are
Another fall.
are
Mhm.
something that the moment like Brian watches all the time because he didn't have to work this week. So the moment like I walk in the room with it on, I get sucked in.
I know, me
Yeah.
too.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I have to work. I have other stuff to do. I can't just sit here and watch the Olympics. I wish that was my full time job, but
Yeah.
it's not. But it pulls you in.
Yeah, it does.
We were like, wish this was on every night. Like,
know.
it'd be fun to watch
Yeah.
this. Different countries competing. The speed skate was pretty cool. That
Yeah,
was fun to
so
watch.
I learned that there's now another woman from Ocala. That's
Yeah,
a speed
there was
skater,
two.
Brittany Bowe.
Oh, okay.
I remember during the beginning, what is it called? When they do the
Opening
the opening ceremony, they flashed up 2 girls because Aaron Jackson. I keep calling her Erica. Aaron Jackson was like leading the
Yeah.
USA in that one, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." It says she's from Ocala, and then somebody by me was like, "Oh, there's actually 2 girls from Ocala that are both speed skaters." I'm like, "That's pretty
Who
cool."
would've
And
thought?
it's not like they're, and I guess there it's just like a skate
Rollerblading,
station, a
yeah.
rollerblading,
Mhm,
speed skating, and then they just transfer that to the ice, which seems not easy, by the way, because
Yeah.
it's very different. If you've ever ice skated compared to normal skate, it's very
yeah.
different.
Yeah, for sure.
And I
But-
also saw there have been 4 engagements over the Winter
Oh.
Olympics.
Oh, really?
With athletes. Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the figure skaters got engaged to like her former rival. I was like, how does this happen?
Oh,
But either way.
I heard too. One of the, I think it was women's hockey that
It was-
2
yeah.
that
Yes.
broke up. I guess that I heard they broke up at some point during, and I was like, well, hopefully they don't have to play each other because maybe they got back together. I don't know.
Well, I
There
know
was some drama.
The one I just mentioned from Ocala, Brittany
Mhm.
Bowe, she's the one who proposed to Hillary Knight, who
Okay.
was the
Right.
one of the
Hockey.
yeah
Yep.
ladies who scored yesterday. And then today, Miles Garrett, or I guess overnight, Miles Garrett proposed to Chloe Kim.
I saw that too.
Oh, really?
And
All right.
it looks like he's about the same height as her when he's down on his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's a massive human being.
Yeah,
No
that he
doubt
is.
about it.
All
That's
right.
cool, though. That's,
Yeah.
that's a great time
Love
to
is in
get
the air over
engaged.
there
Yeah,
in
heck
Milan
yeah.
Cortina. All right, we'll get it to some NFL storylines. I would say the biggest non-Jaguar storylines. That's what we're going to discuss today. So you are listening to Helmets and Heels, 10 to Next on 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels.
Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
Said I'm not good looking enough for her. Not good looking. Look at my face, huh?
Not just voices on the radio.
Am I beautiful? You're very attractive. Yeah.
Mornings on 1010XL.
That is a handsome man.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank.
My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Bowden Iron Associates.
Friday.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Fred Taylor. If you've been in an auto accident, you need a team who knows how to get you back on your feet and back to your life. At North Florida Medical Center, they don't just treat the injury, they treat the whole person, from physical therapy to pain management. North Florida Medical Center has a team of experts ready to help you heal and recover. I trust the team here at North Florida Medical Center, and you can too. So don't wait. Call North Florida Medical Center and get the care you deserve.
Former Gator Patrick Young pours out orange and blue passion with Hacker on the Gator Bites podcast.
Patrick Young, coming to life.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Fridays on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. If you're looking for the best selection of trucks in Jacksonville, it's truck time at Big Number 1 Duval Ford. They've got Jacksonville's largest lineup of brand new trucks with massive discounts. Over $10,000 off select models. That's right, savings you won't find anywhere else. Your next truck is waiting for you at Big Number 1 Duval Ford, so visit DuvalFord.com or stop by 1616 Cassett Avenue today. It's truck time at Duval Ford.
Let's talk about the sound no homeowner wants to hear. Drip, drip, drip. Still dripping. That's exactly why Duck Duck Rooter created the Love Your Pipes promotion. Plumbing problems don't scare us. Not with years of experience and honest upfront pricing on our side. Right now, you can get free plumbing assessment on all fixtures with any paid plumbing service. It's the smart move to fix the issue now before it becomes bigger. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Daytona Supercross. Experience all the high-flying action and side-by-side intensity of Monster Energy AMA Supercross on the most demanding track of the circuit. The gate drops February 28th at the world's center of racing. The high-flying, crowd-pleasing Daytona Supercross is a great event for the entire family. For a chance to win tickets to Daytona Supercross, answer this. Who designs the Daytona Supercross course? Text the designer's last name to 641-1010 now.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We just saw a nasty fall in the half pipe. Yikes. But let's get into some football. The biggest non-Jaguars NFL storylines from 2025. So even if you don't necessarily love the storyline, but you thought it was a huge storyline in the NFL, we shall discuss. I'll kick things off. Philip Rivers.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Unretiring grandpa who had definitely gained weight, was just a high school football coach out there. And he ended up playing really well in his first game with the Colts when they played the Seahawks, and they only lost by 2 points to the eventual world champions. But at the end of the day, the Colts obviously ended up losing 7 straight, and they became the first team in 3 decades to miss the playoffs after starting 8-2. Obviously, it has a Jacksonville connection because Daniel Jones tore his Achilles on our field. But at the end of the day, Philip Rivers and all the memes and all the funny things that were said, he did a great job, or did the best of his ability, for sure. And we talked about this during the AFC Championship game. Would the Broncos have been better off with a different quarterback than Jared Stidham?
Yeah.
We'll never know, obviously, but I have to wonder.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a great story because of the story, but he couldn't throw for you know what. I mean, he could barely throw it anywhere.
The reports were like, his arm looks great, and he's launching it down the field, and it could barely go like 15 yards.
Then it could barely go anywhere, you know? So he was good for them because he knew their system, and they knew he could at least run it. But I don't know if he went to Denver, not the same system, you know, I'm sure he might have been a little bit better, but he couldn't move either, for the record. And his face was so chunky, he almost didn't even fit in the mask. God bless him for being able to do it. You know, it gave his family some great financial and health insurance or whatever.
Sure,
so it was worth it.
But 3 years after playing your last down, that's wild.
Yeah. I think adding on to that, and you don't cheer for this because they're a rival and being the Indianapolis Colts, but the Daniel Jones story too. We talked so much about the resurgence of Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold and Geno Smith when the couple years previous. But Daniel Jones and what he was doing early on this season, you could say whatever you want about the schedule because the Jags had that schedule late in the season, but he was playing really well. He's completing almost 70% of his passes. He looked comfortable in that offense, and then obviously tearing his ACL here wasn't ideal for him. But just that in general, he was another quarterback that was just kind of like tossed to the side. Everyone mocked that move when the Colts did it, and then we had conversations all offseason. Is Anthony Richardson starting? Is Daniel Jones starting? Is Daniel Jones even better than Anthony Richardson? And he came out, and I think that he proved that he can at least play a role in the starting as a starting quarterback and compete for that. So I think in general, when you talk about that Colts quarterback room, is very interesting, and I think surprised some people when it comes to the DJ side.
Well, it sucks so bad because when you tear the Achilles, like the recovery is, I would say, much more difficult even than an ACL tear.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had the ACL. I haven't had the Achilles, but
knock on wood.
Yeah, no doubt. The Achilles, from what I gather, it kind of shreds.
Yeah.
More than because the ACL, you don't. I mean, unless it's really minor, you can stitch it back together. For the most part, you're just going to replace it bone to bone, right? So now I'm not a doctor; I can only play one on radio. But I think for just talking to my orthopedic buddies, like that's why the Achilles is so hard to piece it back together. I'm sure there's sheath, that you could wrap it and make it all one type deal, but I think it's pretty delicate when it comes to trying to put that thing together.
So what does the future look like for Daniel Jones and the Colts? Well, it seems like they want to keep him. They want to keep Alec Pierce. What is the timeline as far as that, with that injury? We'll see.
They've come a long way. I mean, I remember Marino taking the field in '99 for the playoff game, and he hobbled. I remember looking at him like, oh, man, he can. Because he tore his Achilles. And back then, though, it was like that was almost like a death sentence.
Yeah.
The ACL used to be a death sentence back in the day. They used to carve, like open it wide open on both sides of your patella, and however they fixed it, whether using your patella or something else, or your hamstring or that type of thing. But I think with the Achilles, you can come back. Who was the running back that was it Cam Akers? He didn't have a great year. I know he was with Seattle. Actually, Seattle brought him up. You can make it back. I think better today than you could yesterday. Now, Daniel Jones being a little bit older, maybe, a little bit different.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers could come back from it.
Yeah, Aaron's a good one.
And J.K. Dobbins tore his back in 2023 too, and he was able to. So George Kittle did his. So there's some of those guys too, where you're looking at what that future looks like. And unfortunately for Daniel Jones, it was kind of like, okay, I finally got my shot and things are working, and then that happens. But their quarterback room is going to be interesting moving forward.
Right, because you mentioned Anthony Richardson, and that's a whole nother part of the conversation is what do the Colts want to do with him? Are they looking to trade him? Does another team want him at this point in time?
No. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what he brings to the table. I mean, he's a great athlete.
Right.
He gets hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Make him
He
a
takes
tight
himself,
end or
he's
something.
tired and
I don't
takes
know.
himself out of games. That doesn't help him.
Does that too.
Yes.
But listen, it's not his fault they drafted him 4th overall. He only played 13 games like in college. Started, like you did it because you thought, I'll take his arm, and he does have a great arm. I'll take his height. I'll take how big he is. I'll take how athletic he is, and I'll make him into a quarterback. Well, we know that doesn't just happen, A, overnight, and B, if your QB gets dinged up and banged up, it's hard to get that going. So I don't know who would want him. Maybe as a project, maybe as a development type thing, maybe. Go to Cleveland. That'll be a good spot for you. They only got a handful of guys who are trying to figure out, but I don't know. I know the kid, he's got a tremendous physical talent, but it takes a lot more than that. And maybe he's got it. I just don't know if he's really had the chance, but I don't know. I wouldn't put my eggs in that basket.
And the Colts drafted Riley Leonard, obviously, last year, too. So they've got a backup for Daniel Jones, or they have to go a different direction with quarterback. What's one of your favorite NFL
So
stars?
I'm going to go with the MVP, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like during camp and preseason, it was like, is he going to play?
Yeah, his back's
His back was so bad that he wasn't even practicing, didn't play in any preseason games. Not that you have to. And then just comes out and rips off 46 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. You know what I mean? It's at his age.
And was very close to getting to the Super Bowl.
Very close, yeah. No doubt about it. I've always liked him. I've expressed that. He was back when you used to be able to hit him right in the face and you wouldn't even get called a penalty, or maybe it was 15 yards. It wasn't as severe. But he would stand there. I can remember him with the Lions, blood down his chest, still making throws, big wad of, gauze on his chin, just, playing with a separated shoulder.
Yeah.
Just always, I loved him. I really liked him in college, coming out of Georgia. His arm's always been incredible. He still throws a beautiful, perfect placement almost, I just thought it was a great, great story. His 4 daughters, I mean, that's a gift, what a gift to be able to see them before every game and go and play ball for your family. And I don't know about the wife, but we'll leave that for another discussion. But no.
Hey, she's overcome a lot.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, she sure has. No doubt about it.
Other things.
Yeah. But he's had, obviously, what a fantastic year. And how he started and where he ended, I think that's a great story.
And he's coming back, which I think will be also interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think that Matthew Stafford, he's always been, even when he played for Detroit, was one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in general. And just people, he just felt like one of those guys that was very likable. And that's one of the things that when that trade happened, Detroit was upset, and mainly because they were like, okay, well, we're not winning with him, but we're not winning. It's not because of Matthew Stafford. Right. Feel free to give him another, he had Megatron, but outside of that, there wasn't very many things that were helping Matthew Stafford win in Detroit. And then they had to watch him leave and win a Super Bowl and then now have an MVP season. And so it has to be devastating on that side of things for Detroit to watch that happen. But, they have Jared Goff, and they've obviously been a lot better. But Matthew Stafford, I feel like when you talk about that, what do the Rams, when does this conversation come of what's next? Because
they've had it.
It's dwindling.
Yeah.
It's that conversations have to be like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to do this. So what's the backup plan? Because right now I'm guessing it's not Jimmy Garoppolo or Stetson Bennett.
Right.
Yeah, I
True.
do think they probably had those conversations last offseason because of the back stuff. And so, do they look at maybe drafting another quarterback? Like you mentioned, Stetson Bennett. I don't know that he's necessarily a guy that they can move forward with, but Sean McVay, of any coach, right, will know what he wants. And he won't be afraid to go after it we know. The reports are that, or the rumors are that McVay and Stafford met in Cancun and we're having the conversations about how do we make this work.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's illegal in the NFL or not, but obviously, like you said, it ended up happening.
There are
And
a couple of Bahama mamas in. Just
some Mai Tais. Yeah, and Jared Goff, I love watching that show Quarterback on Netflix. Like he cried because he was so happy in Detroit because they actually wanted him, right? And I'm sure if Jared Goff and Sean McVay saw each other in Cancun, they wouldn't necessarily share a drink.
Yeah, probably not.
I know, speaking to Brunel, they love Goff.
Oh, yeah.
They think he's tremendous. Perfect fit for them. They'll make throws like all the great ones do, where you're just like, wow, big arm, always has, good leader, tough guy, So it's look, the Rams, they won because of winning the Super Bowl, right? And Matthew Stafford, I would take over Goff.
Yeah.
But Goff is right up there, man.
Yeah.
He's a really good QB and has been for a while.
For sure.
Mine relative to the quarterback conversation just in general. And this is, I love Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield is one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch just because he's so tough and he'll run people over and his personality's out there. But this kind of relates to here, one of the storylines, because this offseason, obviously, with the whole Liam Cohen and all of that going on, I remember Bucks fans on Twitter, and I think we had somebody even on our show who had reported about this when they were like, oh, they're going to just promote Grizzard. And all of a sudden, Bucks Twitter was like, well, it was mainly Grizzard anyways. Like, he was a part of like all the third down calls and all of this and this and this. And so our offense isn't going to change too much. I think they got a little bit of a reality check. Granted, there were injuries and stuff involved in that with their offense, but you saw the run game not look as well. A lot of things kind of took a step down. They didn't even end up making the playoffs. So not to rub it in, but to just kind of be like, those are the kind of storylines that you look here, because it was just such a conversation of, oh, the Jags are the only people to interview Liam Cohen, and Liam Cohen wasn't even the reason the Bucks were winning, and we're going to be able to just get another offensive coordinator that's going to come in and
he
it's
was
going to be
fired.
flawless. Yeah, and Grizzard was fired. So that, I think, is one, just because it's obviously it connects here a little bit, and that was just the Jags Bucks kind of beef that started this off season. You feel like you win, and that's fun.
Yeah, for sure. You feel like you win.
Yeah.
That's 100%. I would say, speaking of quarterbacks, CJ Stroud and the kind of meltdown that we saw him have in the postseason. Obviously, he missed a couple games in the middle of the season, and we saw Davis Mills
play
come
well.
and play really well, and to the point where some Texans people were like, should they just keep Davis Mills in? But CJ Stroud, it's not that I dislike him, but obviously he plays for a rival, so you don't like that part of things. But I don't love his personality, and so I didn't love how cocky he was after a great first year with the 23 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. And so, yes, you can be cocky if you've done it year after year after year. And so I just didn't love his, just the way that he was about it. And so I didn't mind seeing him then have the 4 interceptions against the Patriots.
Yeah. He seems like he points the finger at everybody but himself, type of thing. At least that's the persona you get from him. Like when things go wrong, he's like, oh, it doesn't feel like it's ever him. At least that's what he's, pushing out there, projecting out there. I think he's got a ton of talent. I mean, I liked him coming out of college. Obviously, his first year was really good. Who was the other guy? It was between him and I was like, no, I'd take Stroud over. Who was the other guy that he came out with? Remember, they were like 1 and 2, and they were neck and neck.
I cannot remember.
Anyway, he. Those two guys were like 1 and 2, but CJ Stroud, look, he's got a ton of talent. I don't know if that's where you're at. That's where your risk is. Do you cut bait?
Was that Bryce Young?
Was it? It was Bryce. Good call. Yeah, I think it was Bryce.
Yeah, because Bryce Young went first overall, and Stroud went second.
There you go. I just thought Stroud was,
and that's when Anthony Richardson went
bigger,
fourth.
stronger, right? Oh, jeez, unbelievable. So do you cut bait and just move on if you feel comfortable enough? I just feel like that's a really risky move. Could you get a like somebody, look, Liam fixed, quote unquote, fix Trevor. So could you get somebody in that organization that can fix CJ Stroud? He's got the arm. He can move around a little bit. He's smart. I mean, maybe the concussions have gotten to him, but he was known for being able to read defenses and look off and do things downfield. So I don't know. I don't think I'd give up on him yet. I don't think I'd send him packing. I'd be like, all right, let me figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, you got to protect him, and then
their line was.
They've had some issues with their.
Look, without Mixon too, I think that was a big. Joe Mixon's and we don't know if he'll ever play again, but he was a beast.
I was about to say, I think they probably are having similar conversations to what we were having here a little over a year ago, in the sense of. And we've probably seen, I don't even know. I mean, I guess you could say you've seen more from Trevor because you have the playoff game against the Chargers. Let's go back to like December of last year, of 2024, the conversations. And you were like, okay, let's go fix the offensive line and let's get the run game going and get the right play caller. And let's see if those things translate and you start to see Trevor being able to get developed, be developed and get a little better at some of those things. They have to be having similar conversations because they had bottom 5 offensive line back-to-back years now. They haven't been able to run the ball very well at all. He has weapons. Granted, Tank Dell didn't play for the whole season, so you lost one of those guys that you were really counting on.
Nico Collins was hurt.
Nico Collins got hurt. So there was a lot of things that similar to the sense of like, okay, well, you have a few weapons when we're talking about Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram. You're like, you have those pieces, but you can't run the ball very well. You can't protect the quarterback. The quarterback's kind of been banged up. So those excuses or reasons kind of bled through here. And I think it might be the same situation, but eventually those conversations have to be had. Like next year, invest in this line and see if you can get the ball, going on the ground a little bit, and then you can really truly evaluate the quarterback. And that's the unfortunate part about the NFL is you really feel like you can't get a true evaluation if you don't have those surrounding pieces for them. And we've seen it now, like what Sam Darnold's done and what Baker's done, the right place with the right surroundings, they can be good quarterbacks.
As far as the ratings, because I was looking at CJ last week, it went back a few years, comparable to Trevor. You look at his touchdown to interception ratio. You stated at 23-5 that first year, then 20-12, then this past season 19-8. Right. So you're like, that's not a franchise QB at all. But there's got to be something there. 2 years ago, they had 52 sacks, so he was getting hit quite a bit.
Yeah.
This year they were better, but they were quite a bit better, at least in the sack total. But we know they struggled. I think they might have got better throughout the year. But nonetheless, look, they're a good team. They need him to be more consistent, and if they can get him to play in some system that's consistent and good for his skills,
because their
he
defense
should be
is
a good
nasty.
QB. Yeah, they got a good defense. If they find a running back, Chubb was fine. Nick Chubb, he's tough. He's up there in age, and I think he averaged 4 yards a carry, so it wasn't like he was, not doing anything. But they got to. I don't know. If I'm DeMeco Ryans, I'm finding the right offensive coach to make sure he can get CJ straight.
Yeah, I sure as heck hope that doesn't happen, as a matter of fact.
No, I know, but,
Yeah. All
and
right,
let's
well,
remind the audience, these are all non-Jaguars storylines.
Yeah.
What are they talking about the Jags?
Yeah, we did our Jags ones already.
We did our Jaguars ones last Friday, and so we wanted to go, around the NFL. And yes, good reminder. I've said it a couple times, but non-Jaguar storylines. Yeah, so people that may have missed that part. We will keep the non-Jaguars NFL storylines going on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Greenlaw Group Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts. Bowden Iron Associates. Helmets and Heels Friday.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish. Seriously, it was just in my pocket. Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For honest, professional locksmith service, use Instant Keys. Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, Jacksonville. This is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine by the Dr. James Andrews. Wintertime is upon us, and you may notice you wake up in the morning with some aches and pains in the shoulders and knees. If this happens to you, don't forget, stay mobile to try to reduce stiffness in your joints. And if that doesn't work, come see me at Bari Orthopedics, where we can treat you with cortisone injections and platelet-rich plasma injections and other non-invasive needs. Visit me at BariOrthopedics.com.
Best Bet is #1. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Create a backyard your family will love. Jack's Outdoor Solutions, an authorized dealer of Celebrity Greens, installs PGA quality artificial turf golf greens and complete outdoor spaces. From turf to custom hardscapes, landscaping, and lighting, every project is built for style, durability, and family fun. Locally owned and trusted across Northeast Florida, customers rave about their results. Check their 5-star reviews on Google. Plan your dream backyard today at jacksoutdoorsolutions.com.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trusted company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
When your home or business deserves more than ordinary glass, you trust the experts. Capital Glass and Shower Doors has been elevating spaces for over 40 years with precision, craftsmanship, and clean, modern design. From sleek frameless shower enclosures to elegant glass railings, wine cabinets, and any custom glass that makes a statement, Capital Glass delivers unmatched quality, service, and attention to detail. Your vision, their expertise. Capital Glass and Shower Doors at capcoglass.com.
The Purple Heart isn't just a name, it represents service, discipline, and earning trust. At Purple Heart Pools, that standard shows up most in pool renovations. If your pool is outdated or worn down, now's the time to upgrade. So when summer arrives, your pool is ready. From new finishes and tile to decking, lighting, and full transformations, every upgrade is handled with precision and attention to detail. Purple Heart Pools. Pool renovations done right.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
We had an interesting question come in from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, and it was not, why are you not talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars? It was asking Tom if you've ever tackled Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, oh yeah, heck yeah. The boss, he's a beast. College and pro. He was hurt a lot in the when we played Notre Dame. Reggie Brooks was unbelievable. That guy, holy cow, he ran all over. I had a ton of tackles that day, but they ran all over, so they weren't good tackles. I was just hustling. But yeah, I used to hit him, with the Jags and the Steelers playing twice a year. I wasn't always starting, so in like every game that would go against him. There's just one play I was telling you. I've told before, but I'll tell it again. So it's Monday. I think it's Monday Night Football, and they're coming out of the north end zone, and they would always run that counter tray.
Mm-hmm.
Where the bus would take everyone knew what was coming. It didn't matter because you still had to hit him.
Do it.
You still had to hit him. But he'd take a step, and then he'd get the handoff, and the guard is pulling around, and he's following the guard behind him. Well, typically the guard's kicking out whoever that outside guy is. Could be an end, could be a Sam, and then it's one-on-one. If the center doesn't get the middle backer, right, then you're if the center gets the middle backer, you're screwed because he's just going to plow through there and nobody will be able to get him. But anyway, the center didn't get me, and I came up and I smacked him really good. We met in the hole and stood him up. And right as I stood him up, both of my my chin straps, they went ding, unbuckled. And Kelvin Pritchett, our defensive tackle, hits us both from the side, and I fall onto my back. And one of the old linemen fall on top of Kelvin Pritchett, who's on top of Bettis, who's on top of me. Oh. Well, Bettis' sweaty, fat belly is in my face. And my chin strap unbuckled. Yeah. So my mask, the bottom of it is stuck in my chin, and all this weight keeps coming. Then the next guy, and my chin kept going like I thought it was just gonna snap. I was like, oh, please get off, please get off. Finally started releasing, and little by little, there was less weight and less weight. And I stood up, I was like, whew. Next play. Yeah, here we go. But it was a load. He was an absolute. I mean, he was 255 pounds listed. He was probably 260. He was quick. He was fast enough, and he was powerful, man. His lower body was insane. And the one thing about the bus, and you can't say that about all the NFL running backs. He ran just as hard, if not harder, in the fourth quarter as he did in the first quarter. Some guys, if you hit early, they don't run as hard. I get it. You don't want to get hit.
Sure.
But it didn't matter to him. You hit him as much as you want. He's got enough cushion. And he was so talented and a really, really tough dude out there on the field.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So you have a very strong jaw then.
Yeah,
because
I must.
feel like that it was enough weight to break
Oh my
a jaw.
gosh, it was unbelievable. And the mask just digging into my chin. I was like, oh my gosh, that hurts
You're like,
so
when
bad.
is this gonna end?
Yeah, that would have hurt really bad if something would have gave. I'm glad they got off me quick.
I'm glad you didn't break your jaw.
Yeah. It was a good hit. I mean, it was a really, really good hit. But nobody's. I don't know many guys decleating the bus in the hole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't know if anybody's ever done that.
I don't know outside of Jerome Bettis and Derrick Henry, obviously very different body types, but I feel like I don't know of running backs that are as intimidating to try and tackle as those two guys.
Yeah.
I mean, there's faster guys, shiftier guys.
But back then there were bigger backs. You think about like the guy from Sam Bam Morris. Remember Sam Bam Morris from the Ravens? Who was the guy? Man, I hit this guy from Houston. Oh, he was a load and a half, and my helmet almost came all the way off. The heck was Butts. Butts. His last name was Butts. Butts. He was like 260 pounds. Oof. So there were guys that were just big bruising type backs that you had to get to them before they got to you, or you're in trouble. Eddie George was big.
Yeah.
Eddie George, 6'4", 240. I mean, he was a big back.
Marion, by the way, Butts.
Marion Butts. Oh, I'll never forget. Because I came out an angle. It was 4th and 1. I came out an angle. I cracked him good. He fell for the first down, but when I hit him, I wasn't square, so I kind of twisted, and thank goodness there was a pile behind me because I landed on the pile, but my chin strap was like over my nose. And I remember Vinnie Clark, our defensive back, coming up and his eyes were wide. He's like, damn, T-Man. And I was like, I didn't get the best of him. I'm like, ding, and fell. Oh my gosh. The collisions were just awesome. I mean, just so much fun. I mean, they were just,
that's why you did it. That's why you were a linebacker.
It was fun.
I thought you were
going to
say awful.
No, they were great.
He loved it.
They were, yeah.
I mean, you get a headache. It's not like you're Superman. You feel them.
Yeah, I would worry about the stingers because of those types of collisions.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Bears the 85 Bears 30 for 30, and they were talking about, it was like an old interview with Walter Payton, and he was talking about how there were drives he would not remember. Like he would go score a touchdown. They'd get all the way down the field, go 80-something yards, score a touchdown. He'd be sitting on the bench, and everyone would be like, good job, Walter. And he's like, what happened? He from getting hit so much. And back then, obviously, it was a whole different world, too. You could just pretty much do whatever you wanted. Yep. But I was like, that's terrifying, actually, to think about. But he was like, look, that's just what the game was. And you kind of expected it. And people just did it.
Yes. Yeah. It was that power eye, jam the football down your throat, and then do play action and hopefully hit you deep. You know what I mean? San Fran was the West Coast, I believe, with Bill Walsh. Before that, you didn't see that. You didn't see it all spread out and, running different patterns and crosses and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I feel like if you were to look at a box score from the, let's just call it like 60s or 70s, the run to pass ratio would be
quite
completely flipped
Yeah.
than what it is pretty much now.
Yeah. I mean, think about how big Jim Brown was. Jim Brown was a big running back. O.J. Simpson, massive running back. I mean, big guys. Marcus Allen's big. I've seen him in person. I was like, what? You were a running back? Like, you know what I mean? How about Brandon Jacobs? Remember him from the Giants? He was built like a defensive end. Hitting those guys over and over. But that's the thing. Like, you got to be willing to do it or forget it. Like, you're not going to, you can get hurt. You can get hurt otherwise. But if you don't go full speed, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Those guys are too big.
Who's the Steelers player that has the biggest neck? And he will come and do some of the pregame stuff for them. Like, doesn't play anymore, former player, but he has that just massive neck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
You definitely know who I'm talking about.
Steelers player.
Yeah.
Like a lineman?
I want to say Steelers. Maybe. All right, we'll figure it out.
You're not thinking like Urlacher, right? He's got a big neck.
No, he does have a big neck.
I'm just picturing him, and every time I see him on TV, I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy is beyond terrifying.
Does he play now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
He's an older guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Someone on
Back
the
to our-
text line, I'm sure, will send it to us.
Yeah, right.
Back to some NFL storylines when we return. How to get that story in there. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on a Friday, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
From the Greenlaw Group Studio,
Helmets and Heels.
tensions build,
3rd and 12. Let's go.
plot thickens,
We got to get off the field.
crowds roar. Tune in and let the show begin. Your home for live play-by-play is 1010XL.
Leon Serza here, your lemon pepper guy. You know Wingstop always delivers. And I'm not talking about their cook-to-order, hand-sauced and tossed chicken sandwich in your choice of 12 mouth-watering flavors. I'm not talking about the house-made ranch. So good, nobody will blame you if you double dip. I'm talking about Wingstop that delivers straight to your door. And did you know they're open until 1 a.m.? So visit wingstop.com or use the app to get flavors delivered right to your door late night only at Wingstop.
Can't stop. Wingstop. It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, enhanced by Bowden Iron Associates.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 20th, 1960, Bill Russell became the first player to record 50 rebounds in a game when he had 51 versus the Syracuse Nationals.
Bro, have you heard about the hottest and newest sports league in town?
Vanguard Sports League isn't just VIP, it's the standard. Smoke-filled tunnel intros, cool benches with canopies, big scoreboards, championship rings, and convenient locations all across Jacksonville. Oh, and Mascot Potty's there hyping everyone up every game. No wonder it's the talk of the town. Spring and summer registration now open.
Search VanguardSportsLeague.com today.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing the game. Spring and summer registration going on right now. Log on to i9sports.com to see all they've got to offer for kids ages 3 and up. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for spring and summer. Great new locations added like Tofoy Creek High School and Westside Middle. Get your kids in the game with I9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount at i9sports.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, David Garrard here. If you want a street legal golf cart that's built with quality and style, check out Dynamic Drives and Designs in Jacks Beach. They have new, used, and fully customized carts from the top brands like Atlas, Dodge, and Pilot Car. Every cart gets a complete expert inspection, so you know it's ready to hit the road. Their team can help you design the perfect custom cart that fits your style and needs. For your custom golf cart, visit dynamicdrivesdesign.com today and see your perfect ride.
Do you love cold weather? Tobacco Cove doesn't either, and we are heating things up with a fantastic event featuring Perdomo Cigars. Escape the chill on Saturday, February 21st from 1 to 4 p.m. and enjoy a Nicaraguan cigar celebration. Food, drinks, and specials on cigars. Experience Perdomo quality and value for yourself. Tobacco Cove at 3849 Bay Meadows Road. More than a cigar store, it's an experience.
Pickett here. Restore comfort and confidence with oculoplastic specialist Mary Kate Wilson, MD, at the Eye Associates, Jacksonville's expert in oculofacial plastic and reconstructive care. Dr. Wilson specializes in eyelid surgery, cosmetic and reconstructive procedures, and treatments, always with a personalized approach. Now seeing patients at the beaches, Southside, and St. John's locations. To schedule your consultation with Dr. Wilson, call the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet A. Betchkel, MD, at 296-0098.
For nearly 60 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard has been Jacksonville's trusted name for the outdoors. From archery to hunting and fishing and more, their expert staff helps you get it right the first time. Right now, stop in and try the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews and get dialed in before spring. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you as we continue to talk about the biggest non-Jaguars NFL storylines. I would say all the firings, the fact that we had 10 NFL head coaching jobs.
Yeah, a lot.
And I saw this when it comes to offensive coordinators. I'm sure y'all saw this as well. There are 21 new offensive coordinators as we head into 2026.
Yeah.
Wow.
21. So obviously we knew that there were the 10 new head coaches, so you'd expect those
Right.
10 to
be
have
gone, yeah.
offensive coordinator replacements, but 21.
Yeah. Side note, real quick, James Harrison was who we were
Yes.
trying
Yeah,
to think
James
of. As soon
Harrison,
as we
right,
hit
right.
break, we all remembered it, but also the text line helped us out a lot.
Yes, thank
and
you,
that
text
scary
line.
man.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm picturing, I should have said Debo from
Yeah, he looks
Friday,
like,
'cause
he
that's what he
does.
looks like, and then
Yeah.
you probably would have thought right of it. But
Yeah.
I think he's so scary, I tend to forget his name.
I
Yeah.
don't want to. I Googled him and I was like, oh, get this away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think in general, when it comes to, we talked so much about last year when it was the coaches, and obviously Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Liam Cohen all being in the running for Coach of the Year this year. That's a cool storyline. And so to trickle from that, now you're having this year where 10 coaches, 10 new head coaches. And because of that, yes, you get 10 of those offensive coordinators also lost their job. And then there was a lot of poaching and movement from a lot of offensive coordinators around the league. But that's a lot. 21 of 32 offensive coordinators had to be replaced.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, some obviously were fired.
Yeah,
but,
right.
But you think of like Brian Daboll now calling plays, obviously a former head coach.
Yep.
Mike McDaniel calling plays, former
Yeah.
head coach. Like
Matt Nagy.
Matt Nagy. Yeah.
They
it's,
push the others out of the way.
right. Nathaniel Hackett.
Yes.
now for the
Wow.
Cardinals. Yeah.
I heard Dan and Jeff
Wow.
on the drill this morning, and he's like, let's play a game of who's their offensive coordinator. And so he was going through the list of the teams that got to have a new OC, and they actually did pretty well to start, and then it started trickling down. It was like a Nate Hackett. They were like, oh, I didn't even know he got a job again. But and Eric Bieniemy, he obviously got an OC
Rehired.
job. So I feel like that is going to be, even coming into this next season, an interesting storyline, because that's 21 teams. Granted, not all of them obviously are going to be play calling, but a decent amount of those will be play calling at their new team. So seeing how some of these former coaches back to OC, how those looked. Nagy's going to be interesting, because Nagy, obviously had the 1 year in 2018 where the Bears offense looked really good. Everything fell apart. He got shipped back to Kansas City, won a Super Bowl over there, but didn't do much, it feels like, because obviously it's Andy Reid's offense and it's Patrick Mahomes. And so now he gets another shot and see what that looks like.
Yeah, I feel like most people wouldn't be able to come up with some of the offensive coordinators.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I know I wouldn't.
Like Sean Mannion,
Yeah.
the new offensive coordinator for Philadelphia. Unless you're a Philly fan, you probably aren't paying that close of attention.
I tell you, within the coaches being fired, the storylines of McDermott, the storyline of Harbaugh,
Tomlin.
Tomlin's a separate one, because did he walk away, or did they say, hey, maybe it's time? I mean, he didn't get fired per se, but did they just agree on him? He's done. He's burnt out, or what have you. But you think about, like, kicker makes the kick. Is Harbaugh still the coach? If Josh Allen hits the tight end in overtime for the winning score, is McDermott. Maybe so, maybe not. Who knows?
The Bills didn't seem to have animosity within the organization, at least from afar. But I do feel like, because we had heard stuff about Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and some issues within, him as far
Monken.
Yeah.
With the coordinator.
Monken, yeah.
Yeah, and then Jim or Harbaugh's like, I'm sticking with my OC, and then he ends up leaving him anyway.
Yeah.
But still, I think, and the player wins. Look, the players, the franchise QB that you invest that much money in, they're always going to win. They don't like somebody, it's not working out. Guess who's going? It ain't them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got too much money
Taylor
invested.
gets fired, that would not surprise people. Joe Burrow's
Joe
going
Burrow ain't
to,
going, unless you trade him,
be the
which you're not going
quarterback.
to do that.
Yeah, no.
But and then you look at Tomlin, you're like, man, finished pretty good this year. Another good year, not the year you want, but and then he's gone. And then you're like, wow, 3 long-standing coaches. I mean, McDermott, you look at his resume with the Bills, other than 1 year, he's divisional playoff round, AFC championship, wild card. I mean, always in the playoffs, never getting to the Super Bowl. And I get that, but it's just, it's just amazing. Like, he's gone too.
That's why
And
they
it's
call
not
it
enough.
Not for long. It
Yeah.
used to be about players, but now
Well, and it's about
coaches.
winning championships. I mean, that's what teams are saying. Like, hey, look, we like going to the playoffs. It's great, but we want to win the title.
Yeah, the Bills
You
have
know?
a very high standard because they feel like they have a quarterback that should have multiple titles by this point in time.
Yeah.
And the block
If he
was
hits
always
the tight end, maybe they do. I don't know.
yeah. The reason that they weren't winning in their minds, I think, was because the Chiefs, right? Like they couldn't get past the Chiefs. Well, then the Chiefs weren't in the playoffs this year, and you still didn't win.
Yeah, that was actually one of my storylines. Josh Allen, like this was your year.
Yeah.
Like all the big names were out.
Yeah,
That's why
this
he
is your
cried.
path.
This was your year,
But
man.
He knew it. Yeah. Well, and that's what talking about the coaching side of things, because I read the stat towards the end of the year where it was like all but one of the coaches of the year since 2018 have been fired since then.
Wow.
Matt Nagy, Harbaugh, Stefanski, Vrabel, Brian Dable, and then KOC is the only one since 2018 that hasn't been fired.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So, and that just shows how quickly it shifts
Yeah,
too. Of like,
yeah.
you have these guys that are winning Coach of the Year, and a few years later they're
Gone,
fired.
right.
And then you talk about a guy like Mike McDaniel, who that team 3 years ago when they got Tyreek, I don't remember how long ago now, around 3 years ago, was like, whoa, they got Tyreek Hill,
Yep.
they got Jalen Waddle, they can run the ball, their defense looks good. Mike McDaniel's like
Devon
this offensive Achane. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have all of these pieces, and Tua can complete 77% of his passes
Yep.
and do, kind of the easy button stuff, but he can be a game manager and get you through things. And the Dolphins looked like they were on the up, and then now they're
Yeah.
completely gutting everything, and their coaches.
I mean, look at the contract they gave to us, similar to what we gave.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah, what we
Sean
paid.
gave Trevor, and now he's going to be out.
Yeah.
It's amazing, like how quickly it can turn, and it can turn on a dime.
Tyreek
This
was
wipeout,
there-
watch this
yeah.
wipeout. Holy moly!
You might not want to watch it.
No, watch it. But his spine hurts way more than my
His
spine hurt when I hit Bettis.
Oh,
Watch
no.
this.
The medical
Oh,
people
that wasn't
half
it.
pipe.
That
That
wasn't
was
it. Maybe
earlier,
it's
yeah.
coming.
The medical
They
people
have some
had to come
crazy wipeouts in this half pipe.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's with the Dolphins for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
I saw something funny earlier, by the way, because it was a meme, and it was of Tyreek Hill and the Tennessee Titans jersey, and because of kind of the joke now where the Tennessee and Baltimore are the two teams that always go and get those like old wide receiver, past their prime wide receivers. But it was like, I've never seen a uniform make somebody immediately look like they're washed, and it was the Titans jersey.
We love that around these parts.
Titans going to be interesting this year. They got a ton of money.
They do.
They do have
They
a
got
lot
a
of
lot
money.
of money to spend.
Yep.
See what they do to their roster.
For sure. All right, we will keep the NFL storylines going. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Green Law Group Studios.
The Men in Black and Team.
Big time players make big time plays at big time games.
1010XL.
Oh man, it feels great.
Home of the Jaguars.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Fountain Iron Associates.
Friday.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
Every day is game day on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony break it down from every angle. Roster moves, matchups, league trends, and the pulse of Duval. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Help your loved one fall back in love with his or her home with a home improvement from the professionals at the Lifetime family.
That's right, Nick. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovebirds out there. What says I love you more than adding additional space with a glass or screen enclosure that will enhance your home's livability, or brand new floors that dramatically improve the look and feel of your home?
That's right. New outdoor living space from Lifetime Enclosures and beautiful floors from Lifetime Flooring.
Come experience the Lifetime difference. Call or visit one of our showrooms today for our Valentine's Day specials throughout February.
Lifetime Enclosures.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? It's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity on your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Prosser here. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto in a matter of days. They had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact, didn't even need an appraisal, and with all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too. LoanPronto.com, the rapid equity loan program, can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it. Consolidated all their high-interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine. Pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier. Get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows. Call Loan Pronto today, 904-999-1500. That's 904-999-1500, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Magic are back in the winner's circle after a dominant win over the Sacramento Kings last night, 131-94. Paolo Banchero had a big night with 30 points and 6 rebounds. NFL free agency is right around the corner as it officially begins Wednesday, March 11th at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's 84 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Taylor's giggling about.
He just said wind down Friday. I did wind down Thursday too. I was like, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I was doing trivia last night.
Very fun.
I was telling you guys, I'm like, I'm normally terrible at trivia because I overthink everything, and then I don't want to be wrong, so I never say, I never want to like contribute too much, and then I'll end up being right. And I'm like, dang it, if I would have just said it out loud. But last night I was crushing it, and I was very proud of myself. I was like, let's go. Let's go. I feel smart.
I love it.
Smart.
I have a thought.
You had a thought. Feels good.
A good, correct thought. That's the most
right.
important part when it comes
That's
to trivia. All right, a couple more storylines for me. The fact that Patrick Mahomes and Micah Parsons tore their ACL on the same day this past season.
I forgot about that.
Was
Actually.
so wild. And then finally, Terrell Williams, we talked about this earlier in the week, is cancer free. I think that's amazing because he was battling prostate cancer. And so that's when Zach Core had to step in. And if you didn't know, Core is from Jacksonville, FLA, and coached at Mandarin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and at West Side, and also Edward Waters. And then he graduated from the University of Florida as well. So a lot of local ties there. And now Core is the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. So yeah, there's a lot of storylines that I don't even really think that much about because they belongs to the rivals.
Yeah.
Or just like, I don't really like the Patriots, so I'm not going to say like, oh, what Variable did with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's a big storyline, but not one to me.
Yeah, and I have a few, and I put Vrabel actually on mine, but I did Sam Darnold and Vrabel going to the Super Bowl because I think that it's just kind of funny, and more so, I don't love the Patriots, but I think it's funny that Tennessee shipped fired Vrabel, then Vrabel goes on and goes to the Super Bowl. I think that's fun. I think the Sam Darnold story is great. We talk about he was on 5 teams, kept getting pushed around. Vikings decide to, for whatever reason, you're not good enough here. We're going to go with J.J. McCarthy. He gets signed. He goes and wins the Super Bowl with Seattle. So I think that was really fun. I wouldn't be able to go through the show without talking about how Caleb Williams, 7 comebacks he had this season in the fourth quarter, and some of those throws that he made, including coming back against the Packers in the postseason, beating the Packers twice in one season when they hadn't beat them at the end of the year. So in the end of last season, they beat them. But before that, it had been since 2018. So now Caleb has beat the Packers 3 times in his first 2 years, which hasn't happened in a very long time. And so those are just when you talk about a lot of the relations between Jags and Chicago, I've talked about there's many when it comes to obviously Shane Waldron and Press Taylor kind of switching spots. We were talking about Ian Cunningham when he was interviewed here last year. There's just been these parallels between the two teams. And then now you add on, they both get these offensive minded coaches and both turn their teams completely around, get to the postseason after only winning 4 and 5 games the season before. So it's kind of cool to watch both of those trajectories be fun now, rather than for so long I was watching the bad part of these two teams. And so that I wouldn't be able to make it through without saying that. But yeah, I had the coaches fired when they talk about a Harbaugh and stuff like that. Personally, I liked the Commanders coming back down to earth. I was so tired of hearing about Jaden Daniels and how the Bears should have drafted him and how much better he was. And I just had this feeling, just because playing the Commanders and then watching them a lot last year because of that, I was just like, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see this really good football team. I think they're getting lucky. They were winning because they got double doinks that went in, and then other people doinked out, and then there was Hail Marys, and there was all this stuff, and then they play the Lions in the postseason, missing their entire defense, and I just thought it was kind of like this perfect Cinderella story that was kind of made up a little bit, and so I enjoyed it personally, kind of coming back down to like, oh, here's reality. Of what the NFL
I like
is.
Jaden Daniels as a QB though. We'll see what he can do.
Yeah, I think he's good. I just don't think it was like everybody shift everything and go pick. And now obviously that shifted this year. It was kind of Drake May was the conversation, and Bo Nix has been in that conversation. But
Well,
I just personally enjoyed that.
Stroud was a darling not too long ago. I got a couple too. Myles Garrett setting the sack record.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. He's always been a phenomenal player. Run, pass, it don't matter. He's the complete
got his money
defensive
and then
end.
was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. So he just a dominant performance by him. You can always count on him. And I have another story that deals with cancer. That's Alex Singleton.
Yeah.
I mean, what a story. He goes in for a random drug test. They find some HCG levels high. They test him. He's got testicular cancer. They're like, all right, you got to have surgery. He's like, well, can I play in the Thursday night game first? And they're like, okay, fine. Then the day after, he has the surgery. And then they're making, they're calling one nut and nut one. He said it on national TV. It was classic. And then he goes, he had the surgery on Friday. He was in a team meeting on Monday. And then I think it took a week or two for him to get back out there. And then he was one of their best players out there on the field. I mean, what a phenomenal story. What a scary, like, oh my gosh. Anytime you hear that, the cancer word, you're like, oh my gosh. And then you go through it all, and then you're still playing, and then your team almost makes it all the way, and you're a big part of that defense and playing with your hair on fire, running all over the place, making plays. Talk about getting a second chance on things and everything. So yeah, I thought Alex Singleton's story was really, really, really inspirational and cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the NFL does such a great job, obviously, of capitalizing on stuff, but I feel like that's a storyline. Same with Terrell Williams. I feel like the NFL didn't really feature those, right? Like we all know, yes, when you watch the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold's on his 5th team. Mike Vrabel, this isn't his first time coaching.
Right.
Drake May's wife makes TikToks and cooks. Like there's so many different things we could go on and on. The dark side with the Seahawks, but I don't feel like they focused enough on those two storylines.
Well, if they made it, that if Denver made it to the Super Bowl, it'd have been all over the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He would have been one of the stories. We play the Bears next year, don't we?
Yeah.
That's
In
going to be a
Chicago.
primetime game, I bet. They're gonna put those kids.
Those storylines.
Those young QB kids.
Yeah, the quarterbacks, the coach story.
I feel like the coach story is huge.
Shane and Press. There's a
of it.
lot of storylines between those two. I could see them doing that
two
for sure.
quarterbacks that really had good years and showcased their skills and
It's a road game, but we don't know yet exactly if it's in Chicago or
somewhere
Spain.
else.
I'm hearing it might be the Spain game.
Oh,
I know. I would be super bummed if that happens, but because
I'll go.
of I guess the Bears,
be
one
fun
of
to go to
their,
Spain.
I don't know what it is. They have ties. Something is in Spain. Something I don't know exactly what it is, but they have ties to Spain in some way. So people are assuming that the Bears are going to get the Spain game.
Pinheiro?
Yeah, Pinheiro. Yeah, he's not there. He's not our Santos.
Eddie,
I
right?
don't know where Santos is from.
Eddie Pinheiro.
Yes.
But and so then the rumor is that okay, they're going to get that Spain game, and we're going through the schedule and are like, which teams make sense to send to Spain. Sometimes they don't want to send the more, the popular, better games, but maybe for something like that they do, because when you go through it, not really many of the other teams make sense to send over there. So hopefully not. I really would be bummed if that's the case.
Although we're definitely in for London.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, can we even be a part of that?
The Niners have multiple out of the country.
Yeah, that's true. Mexico City and Australia. Right?
They'll send you anywhere.
They will.
Just make sure you have a passport ready.
Yep.
One quick story, wanted to get to the Teddy Bridgewater bill, Teddy Bridgewater Act, and the fact that now high school coaches in the state of Florida can pay up to $15,000 for certain things for their high school players. Look, I think the story is great now that they've allowed coaches to do this, because Teddy Bridgewater was suspended for trying to help his players, trying to get them Ubers and things like that when he wants to make sure that they're safe, right? Because it's a rough neighborhood around Miami Northwestern. And so that was all great. The fact that he was suspended was idiotic. So now at least we have some common sense. But I think everyone knows, like, $15,000 out of Teddy Bridgewater's pocket is a lot different because he's played the NFL for so long than most high school coaches. Like, it's great if the high school coach has it, but I don't know that we're necessarily really solving something. I feel like the schools need to help those types of kids with transportation.
Why not just give the 15G to the program and the coach can use it as he sees fit?
Well,
out of
because
his
the
own pocket.
$15,000 right is coming out of his own pocket.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like we created a fund for this
That's what I'm
type
saying.
of stuff.
But that's what you should do. That's the right thing to do. I mean, I don't know how many coaches can just come out of 15G out of their pocket.
Most high school football coaches are teachers, and we all know the salaries here in the state of Florida aren't as good as other places.
Maybe you can get, a car dealership or, businesses to, invest in your team, maybe do that.
I mean, nowadays, at almost every time I go to the grocery store, there's a team of some sort trying to, collect money for a tournament. So now maybe we'll see some high school teams out there trying to get, or coaches trying to get some extra money. But if we're trying to keep kids safe, that's the most important thing.
Yeah. And I think the story, we all got frustrated with it initially, because you're just like, okay, he was trying to help. That he was giving them food and rides, and it's just like he's trying to help. And when you talk about what a coach is, especially in high school, it's like a lot of that. A lot of those kids' father figure that they have, if not father number two, that because you're spending so much time with him. And so you become that, and it's hard. You're asking him, if a kid comes and is like, I'm hungry or I can't get to practice, and you're telling the rules are you can't. And so that's part of it. Unfortunately, you broke the rules and you get in trouble for breaking the rules. But I think that should it needs to change, especially now. I mean, NIL in high school is legal. So you can legally pay the kids in other ways. Why can't a coach, if able, be able to help them?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, the district or whatever should help the coaches.
Yeah.
And more than just football. Maybe it's not that much, whatever. I know that's a lot of money. If you add up all the high schools in Florida, that's going to be a lot of money. But it just seems ridiculous, because then guys like Teddy can do it, and guys that don't have it can't,
Every former NFL player who's made over $20 million should have a high school that they donate the $15,000 to.
There you go.
And there you have
I was going to throw in food, too. Like, you got to make sure they're fed.
Yeah, it's welfare.
You got to help them out, man. If they need a ride, you get them a ride. If you need food, give them a few bucks to go get something to eat. That shouldn't be a problem. No. And it should come from the school or the district or somewhere instead of the coach's personal funds, my opinion.
Sure. But when it's Teddy Bridgewater, who's made
about $63 million, I just saw.
Yeah. I think that'll work. All right. By the way, the hockey is underway. So if we seem distracted,
if we yell at you,
or if we start screaming, we'll explain. By the way, I did learn that our broadcast was ahead of others in the building, but way behind. Like if you have cable.
Oh, really?
That's funny, because it's way ahead, and that's DirecTV in there, and it's way ahead of the DirecTV that we have in the other room.
And if ever you go to someone's house,
but also we're delayed. So
but only like 7 seconds. I think
it's a little longer sometimes, because when I left the other day when the men's hockey won, I was in that cheering, woohoo, like whatever. Right, I walked out. By the time I got to my car, Frank was just talking about hearing me.
Okay,
so it was a good 40 seconds that we were delayed at that point.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's what it was. It used to be we were only delayed 7 seconds.
So these colors are similar. You notice? Like they're blue and white.
Are you going to get confused?
If you're a goalie, you might. I don't know.
I don't know
if all of them in front of you. Was that Slovakia?
Slovakia, yeah.
As Leon calls it, Slovakia.
If we win this game, then the colors won't be as similar to Canada because they're just
That's
red
right.
and white.
Yeah.
So
That's
at least you've got that going
That'll be fun.
All right,
Yes.
Lauren's Lane on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you. Honoring hard-working heroes.
Work all week long, punching that clock dust till dawn.
Duval's Good Timin' Sports Talk Radio.
I need a good time.
This is 1010XL.
Yeah, I've been working all week and I'm tired. I don't want to sleep and I want to have fun.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Helmets and Heels Friday
is brightened by Bowden Iron Associates.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Ace Carline here for Atlantic Infinity, and yes, I'm still loving my new QX60. Right now, you can lease one or lock in just 1.9% financing for 60 months, and every new Infinity comes with the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's over $7,000 in added value. That's one of many reasons why I bought mine there. No pressure, no games, just a great experience. Make your next ride an Infinity from Atlantic Infinity. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com or the showroom near Atlantic and St. John's Bluff.
Get this thing unwrapped here.
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it!" and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Could you imagine? There was a time you could just tell your kids to shut up, right to their face. No explanations, just shut up. How much easier would that have been? Why is the sun hot? I don't know. Why don't you shut up? That was uncalled for.
Tom Hopper Live in the Grateful Bread Tour. Saturday, February 21st, on stage at Florida Theater. Tickets are on sale now at floridatheater.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dawes, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. USA 1, Slovakia 0. You don't want any of this, Slovakia.
Slovakians gonna get you.
But yeah, both teams are in red, white, and blue. So you do have to pay attention
You do.
to who the United States is.
Yep.
All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, I have about 50 things that I want to get to in Lauren's Lane, but we'll start with the Jacks Baseball Classic. If you're watching online, you can see Taylor Dahl is wearing a Notre Dame t-shirt. There's a reason for
Go
that.
Irish.
Going to see Notre Dame baseball tomorrow.
I am pumped. Noon game for Notre Dame LSU tomorrow, so I will be there. It started today, obviously. We have Thomas and Jacob are out there right now. I wish I was. But a lot of good baseball this weekend, so that'll be fun. Get down to ViStar Ballpark because, we have Indiana, LSU, Notre Dame, and then UCF.
All right.
So, yeah, a lot of good games coming up.
And you hate LSU for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Screw LSU.
Wow. It's all coming together for you, Taylor, on a Saturday.
On a Saturday.
By the way, Lauren,
Yes.
in your world, Pete Alonso gets his first home run as an Oriole.
Oh, yeah. Sort of my world. I'm not a Mets fan, but yes, former Gator for sure. FSU, speaking of college baseball, is in a tournament, and they just beat Michigan 6-1. Now,
All right.
I don't think Michigan baseball is nearly as good as Michigan football and Michigan basketball normally are, but certainly that's another win for the Noles. Since we're on college baseball, I'll tell you what the schedule looks like this weekend. JU plays host to Long Island. You remember who Long Island
I do.
recently played Florida in football?
Sisters of the Poor and Blind.
That 4-game series begins tonight. First pitch at 6 o'clock. UNF plays host to Quinnipiac. 3-game series begins tonight, 6:05. Florida is ranked number 12 in the country. Florida plays host to Kennesaw State with a 3-game series beginning tonight at 6:30. And then I just told you FSU is a part of the Emergy Bank College Baseball Series in Arlington, Texas. Now FSU will play number 9 Auburn at 4 o'clock. And then on Sunday, that's tomorrow. And then on Sunday, they'll play Nebraska at 3:30. In college basketball, UNF, I don't know if y'all were following along last night, but UNF was playing
That
Austin
end of
P.
that game. Oh, my
So Austin P. Tom was 13-1 in the A-Sun.
Okay.
And UNF had the lead. Well, sorry, no, they were tied. They were tied at 76. And then Austin P was assessed a technical foul because they called a timeout with none remaining, which sounds familiar to college basketball once upon a time. And then the senior guard, Cameron Oriole, hit 1 out of the 2 free throws for the technical. So now UNF was up, or no, that's how they got tied. And then, or no,
went
UNF
up
was
one.
up
Yeah.
by 1. And then Austin P basically heaves in the shot, or he's in the ball from the end court, and then they
10.
score and win 77-76.
Yeah.
Win by 1. Yeah.
Heartbreaker at the end.
Absolute
So they threw a
heartbreaker.
long inbound pass,
Yeah.
basically. Nobody was there to knock it down.
So yeah, that. But UNF now 4-11 in the A-Sun play at Stetson tomorrow at 3:30. So hopefully the really good basketball that we saw last night is going to translate to a victory over the Hatters. Stetson is just 5-10 in the A-Sun. JU plays host to that Austin P team tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So go Dolphins! And that is the second to last home game of the season. You can hear it right here on the Superstation with pregame coverage beginning at 6:45 in men's basketball. Continuing number 12, Florida travels to Ole Miss with a noon tip tomorrow. You can hear all that action right here on 1010X on 92.5 FM with pregame coverage beginning at 11:30. Florida is 20-6 overall, 11-2 in the SEC on a 6-game win streak. The Rebels are 3-10 in the SEC, 11-15 overall. Yeah, so that's a game Florida should win. Knock on wood.
I know you said it doesn't technically matter right now at this point in time, but are you still surprised they haven't moved Florida up higher in the rankings?
I don't know why they're 12th in the country. I can't explain that to you as an AP, or not an AP top 25 voter. I would have them as one of the best 8 teams in the country for sure. You can certainly have Michigan number 1, and I get that. But then after that, there's quite a few teams in the mix. Arizona, Duke. I think Florida's among those teams. By the way, speaking of that, and then Houston as well. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, so Florida plays at noon. At 3 o'clock tomorrow, 4th ranked Arizona is at 2nd ranked Houston. So number 4 versus number 2. And then at 6:30, number 1 Michigan at number 3 Duke.
I saw the tickets.
right.
Did you see the tickets for that game?
I did
They're
not.
like thousands.
I bet.
I
At
saw
Duke? Well,
I
Cameron
bet.
Indoor is smaller on the
Okay.
smaller side, and so I know when Florida played Duke earlier this season, those tickets were expensive. I can only imagine with the blue blood
Yeah.
that Michigan is coming in to Cameron Indoor, but I'm not usually like a look at the college basketball schedule other than Florida's, but when I realized what was happening, I was like, that's too.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the Final Four.
Massive.
Hopefully not, because
Yeah.
Florida's not a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close to March Madness.
We are.
Right?
Almost
When
done.
is the championship, like the tournament game, like the SEC tournament and that type
It's
of thing?
always with the players. It always
Okay.
combines
Okay.
with the
Overlaps
players
with that, yeah.
championship,
Okay.
and then
Right
they're-
here.
Usually
yeah,
like the 18th, I think, is when
Correct.
that kicks off
Yep.
this year.
So you,
that
what do you
Thursday.
say? You're 12th? You guys have 6 losses?
6.
I only looked briefly. A lot of them are 3, 2. Are any higher than 4 or 5? I know you're on a run. I get that.
Michigan,
but
like
maybe the-
Michigan's only lost 1 game.
Right.
Oh, wow.
But as far as I don't know that their schedules were quite as difficult, although, like I just mentioned, these are not conference games for any
right.
of these teams.
Yeah.
So
Wow, fun.
they've actually put non-con games late in the season, which you don't necessarily see that often.
Mhm.
So that part is at least exciting if you like good basketball. But it's to Taylor's point, the week after the players, the week that you're on vacation,
Mhm.
we will have March Madness.
March Madness, baby. Great.
It is great.
It is fun. It is. I mean,
Of course.
that first weekend's insane.
it's-
I mean,
yeah.
insane. Just watching all the channels.
And
all the
usually
games.
we end up with buzzer beaters
Yeah.
right
Oh,
off
yeah.
the rip, too,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
really exciting.
And the
there's always
upsets, your
upsets.
brackets
Are we having a
busted.
thing? Like, are we going to do a thing?
A
Oh, yeah, we
bracket.
always do a bracket. Yeah.
One of
Yes.
those things,
We will
yes.
do a bracket
Had a thought.
challenge.
One of those
You got that
things.
right.
Yeah, get a bracket.
And then gymnastics. I hope you guys are locked in tonight.
Yeah.
As number 4, Florida is at number 6, Georgia. That's
Oh.
at 7 p.m. on SEC Network.
Bad blood there.
And then at 9 o'clock, and this is on ESPN2, number 2, LSU at number 1, Oklahoma.
Wow.
I know people don't like rearrange their life schedules and their
For
social
gymnastics.
calendars for gymnastics. I get that. And I did not, because we're going to
Yeah.
see Nico Moon tonight. However, both of those meets are recorded. So I will be watching them
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you can watch them over the weekend.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've
Some
done
good
that.
stuff.
We've had a lot of stuff on Friday nights as of late. And so I've had to not
Yeah.
rewatch, but I've had to rewind. Not that. I've had
Do you
to
look?
tape
Like, do
it.
you see who?
I do not.
You wait
I
until
stay
you
off
can
of
watch it.
Twitter,
Yeah.
and then I don't like to know in
Me
advance.
either. I can't. I don't like to. Anytime if I can't watch something, I'm like I try to avoid it as much as possible because I don't want to rewatch something, or I guess watch it for the first time, but later and then no, because
Right.
I feel like it just ruins everything. And the whole time you're like, hold on. So how'd you get to this point? How did we end up losing? Yeah. So I was just wondering because I know you rewatch a lot.
Yeah, I do have to record stuff and then watch it later. But occasionally I will get texts from people that are watching live, and so I'll have to be like, and
So, yeah.
I'm busy, actually, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I wanted to get this nugget of college football out there. I'm sure y'all saw that Coach Kurt Cignetti, Indiana's head coach,
Oh, yeah.
finalized his contract that will pay him an average of $13.2 million through the 2033 season. The length of his deal did not change. His salary just increases from $11.6 million now to this $13.2.
Yeah, Natty brings you some more money, I guess.
Which they had negotiated some of the terms of the contract back in October. At least they had announced the extension then, but then they had up to 120 days to actually finalize the contract. And so, now it is finalized.
Yeah, these coaches' contracts are getting kind of crazy, but if you're talking about somebody who deserves to be paid, Siggs deserves to get paid. I mean, what he's been able to do at Indiana, we've talked about it with now different quarterbacks and then winning the national championship. That's just, I mean, it's really hard to do to win the Natty in general, but to do it, I feel like we've talked so much about Indiana when it comes to their portal, and most of their team obviously was built through that and not being able to recruit the way that other schools can recruit. That may be changing now that they have a national championship, and Kurt Cignetti, people seem to love him. The players rally around him. So it'll be interesting to see how Indiana starts to shift when it comes to that level, the kind of balance between portal and recruiting that we went over a few weeks ago.
Just Google him and you'll find all the information that you need. By the way, Kirby Smart is the highest paid coach. Well, now he's tied with Cignetti at 13.2, and then Lane Kiffin also in that $13 million
I
per
saw
year
that.
range.
Signetti, what, 27-2 in two years in Indiana. Indiana's on the map football-wise. Indiana was never even thought about football-wise for the longest time. I mean, seriously, like even growing up, you didn't think of Indiana football. You thought of Indiana basketball.
Yeah.
They were always great in basketball.
But
But
now it's going to be the Indiana Bears, too.
Yeah. They're going to get a pro team.
Signetti is bringing Indiana greatness
He's like,
in football.
they all want to
including
be
an
near
NFL
him. They all
team.
want to be near him. So,
Absolutely.
but no, he's put him on the map. You know, he deserves the deal.
Yep.
He brought him a national title. You know, how many colleges would love to say they've won a national title?
Yeah, Boston College would, I would, Florida would, Notre Dame certainly would. And before we finish our conversation about basketball, RJ on Sunday, Open Gym returns 10 a.m.
Yeah, no, definitely excited about it. I'm going to be discussing all things NBA. We will have Sean Powell from NBA.com just breaking down everything in terms of the tanking epidemic in the NBA. Also want to get his thoughts on the whole Paolo Banchero situation. That has been a hot button topic for a lot of Magic fans and NBA fans alike. So I want to get his thoughts on that. And then who are some teams that are legitimate contenders in the Eastern and Western Conference as now we hit the final 28 games of the NBA regular season. So all that coming up on Open Gym at 10 o'clock on Sunday.
Was the NBA season fly by as fast as football season?
Jeez, it has.
No, it definitely feels like, I mean, the season had just started and then you have the All-Star break and the long week in which there was no basketball, and then the Magic played last night. You also had the Knicks play last night. And so, I mean, by the time I feel like I blink again and sit back in this chair next week, we'll probably be talking about round one of the NBA playoffs. That's just how fast, this whole season is going. But, I mean, it's definitely been fun to see. It's been disappointing if you are an Orlando Magic fan just because of all the injuries and the turmoil that's been going on kind of internally, or at least that's what you hear. But there have been a lot of great teams at the top, a lot of teams that have been surprising that have come out of the woodwork. So I don't know as of yet who's the favorite to be the NBA champion going into the playoffs. But, I mean, these are why we play the games, and we got 28 more of them to go. So, I mean, I think this is the most exciting time of the year. Whether you're like a huge NBA fan, a diehard, or just a individual who likes, making cameos and peeking, in and out to see what's going on in the NBA, I think this is the time to watch.
Now, RJ, I feel like the NBA lottery, the draft lottery, and then the play-in were trying to be fixes to keep people from tanking, and then now we're still seeing it. Do you think the NBA does something else to try and keep that from happening?
I think ideas have been swirled around of, whether or not you get rid of the NBA draft altogether. I don't think the NBA is going to do that. I don't think they're getting rid of the NBA draft. I think for some teams, when it comes to this tanking and the issue of tanking, if you look at a team such as the Washington Wizards, for example, or you look at a team such as the Utah Jazz, I think these are teams that need to look at, okay, who are our guys that we can have next year? We have a couple guys on two-way contracts. We have young players. We're trying to develop these guys. We need to see what they have so we can build around that when we also have our stars. If you're the Utah Jazz, Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, if he decides to return, Jaren Jackson Jr., like, who do we have around these guys? So I don't need to watch, if I'm the Utah Jazz as a organization, I don't necessarily need to watch Lauri Markkanen or Jaren Jackson Jr. play 30 minutes. I know what they can do. What about some of these young guys that we have on two-way contracts, or what about some of these young guys that we have that are on expiring contracts that we say, can we play them next year? Do we talk about having those two-way contracts turn into standard contracts? Like, what do we need to do? Now, also, at the same time, yes, you are trying to tank because you're trying to get a number one overall pick. But just because a lot of these teams are tanking, it still gives you no guarantee that you're going to get the number one overall pick, unless you are the Dallas Mavericks and you trade for Luka Doncic.
That's what's crazy that you do. Yeah,
but that was a whole fixed thing. I'm sorry, my mic kind of went out.
You can have Charles Bediako. I hear that he's available.
I mean, so it doesn't necessarily mean just in the gist of it that, you're going to get the number one overall pick and get Peterson from Kansas or get DeBanza from BYU. But I think for a lot of these teams, such as the Sacramento Kings, they have 12 wins this year. Does DeMar DeRozan really need to play 30 minutes? And every game at this point is going to be a useless game for the Sacramento Kings. No, let's see what whatever the tall guy's name was, Renowned, or whatever. I mean, he had 17 and 14. I mean, like, you're looking at that guy and you're saying, okay, like, maybe we have something there with him. What can we do something with Domantas Sabonis over the summer? Can we trade him and try to develop this young center that we have? I know a lot of people call it tanking, and there is tanking going on.
Yeah.
There certainly is. I saw it against the Utah Jazz when I was there in Orlando. You're up 17 and you don't play Jaren Jackson Jr. or Lauri Markkanen or Yusuf Nurkic in the fourth quarter, up 17, and the Magic are making a comeback, and you're saying, we don't need to put our guys back in. It's like, okay, we see what's going on here, and Will Handy is saying, like, listen, I wasn't even thinking about putting those guys back in, because I think half of it is, yes, you're trying to get a higher draft pick, get more lottery balls, but at the same time, I need to see what my young guys have.
They're trying to develop.
I need to see what they got.
All right. Open Gym Sunday, 10 a.m. for more of that basketball talk. The golden moment awaits. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group. Your home for Florida Gators basketball is 1010XL.
As the march towards madness continues, the Gators take a trip to the Delta for a noon tip in the Mississippi Swamp. Florida Ole Miss, tomorrow on 1010XL.
And that concludes the Josie Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, transponders, and even high-tech smart locks. For honest, professional locksmith service,
Instant Keys comes to you.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Valentine's Day is sweet, but let's be honest, your septic tank wants attention too. Because when it gets ignored, it doesn't sulk, it causes problems, big ones. That's why DuckDuckRooter, the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, is rolling out the Show Your Septic Some Love promotion. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping when you book by February 28th. Give your septic a little love now so it doesn't make a big scene later. When you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, DuckDuckRooter.com.
Tara Loggeman here for Local Fair Jacks. Fresh, local produce, eggs, and meat delivered right to your door. It's where Jeff and I shop because we know exactly where our food is coming from. There's no scary recalls, just trusted local farmers. Visit localfairjacks.com.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, company mascot at your service.
There are two important steps to installing the perfect garage floor. The two-stage coating application? Sure. But nothing is more important than preparing the floor. Our team uses diamond grinding machines to grind your floors to a smooth, level finish. Only then can we...
Hold on! You grind garage floors with perfectly lovely diamonds!
No, Chester. We grind floors to perfection using the very best ugly diamonds. Too ugly for jewelry, but perfect for the grinding pads we use to prep the surface.
Perfect preparation and application. Now that's a perfect marriage.
Ugly diamonds?
Check. Perfect preparation?
Check. Smooth, gorgeous, gleaming floors that really catch your eye? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
We spent today talking about some of the NFL storylines that we found intriguing or interesting or that we just liked or whatever the case may be today around the NFL. We did our Jaguars ones last week. But this note also kind of tying in to some of the storylines, but overall in the NFL. So I saw this. Since 2000, there have been 37 quarterbacks drafted in the top 5. None of them have won the Super Bowl as the starter for the team they were drafted by.
Wow.
So the one caveat to this, by the way,
Stafford got traded.
Well, Eli, because he was drafted, then didn't play by the Chargers, then did it. So that's kind of like the weird thing because he technically did win with the team that he played for, but that's a weird thing.
And yeah, Stafford won not with the team he was drafted by.
Yeah, well, there's multiple of those. That's why it says by the team that drafted them. There's a few that had went to other teams and won the Super Bowl.
Which makes sense. Like it's with Darnold, right? Like you go to the Jets and they stink everywhere else, and you think the QB is going to save the day, and he can't save the day. You don't have enough resources. You don't have enough talent. Your left tackle stinks.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's why those quarterbacks, they end up doing a lot of them better, down the road once they get to, or unless that team can build around them, and make sure that the quarterback's protected in a good system.
Baker Mayfield stayed with the Panthers, for instance, that doesn't mean that the Panthers were going to make the postseason year in and year out.
No, right. And especially at that time.
Right.
They weren't built for anything. They weren't going to make a run, no matter who the quarterback was, Yeah. So that's the thing. When you get drafted that high, you usually go to a bad team or a team that struggled,
Yeah, that would have been, if the Patriots won, probably one of the biggest storylines of, oh, wow, a top 5 quarterback that was drafted by their team if Drake May would have done it. But obviously that didn't happen. So hopefully now we see someone like a Trevor Lawrence be able to break that curse.
Break the mold.
I think there's some guys that have been drafted in the top 5 in the last 4 or 5 years that we could possibly see win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And obviously Patrick Mahomes wasn't drafted in the top 5. So, and neither was Tom Brady.
Right, Pat was 10th, I think.
Yeah,
right?
the Chiefs traded up to get him at 10th.
Yeah,
pretty crazy. I saw in a CBS Sports list as far as under the radar free agents, and Dennis Gardeck. I know y'all talked about this on Jaguars Today. Dennis Gardeck, as far as being an under the radar free agent, here were the top 4 pressure rate leaders among edge defenders in 2025 with a minimum of 100 pass rush snaps. Will Anderson Jr., 21% for the Texans. Dennis Gardeck, 19.5%. Nick Bonito with the Broncos, 19.4%. Micah Parsons, 19.4% also, obviously, with the Packers.
So why didn't we rush him more?
So, yeah, that's
you know what I mean? Like,
inevitably, it leads you to what exactly was that, or how did that decision arise to not have him rush the passer more often?
Well, I hope they can figure it out. He may get paid somewhere. Somebody may want his services, but
he's also
I would
so
love
good
for him
on
to be
special
back there.
teams.
Yeah, I know.
That's why they talked about him, being a game changer whenever they would put their boards together, as far as when Liam Cohen was at the Rams. And Dennis Gardeck, so good on special teams that's what he was under the game changer category. How do you let one of those guys go when he last year signed, what do we say, a 1 year, $2 million deal? Like, you got to re-sign him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would look with that kind of win rate. I'd be like, look, be my situational third down pass rusher and play the special teams. He's willing to do it. And Devin Lloyd too. He was always running on down a kickoff and punt and all that. They love playing those special teams. And a lot of times when you're a starter, you don't do special teams. Just because the backups do it and you're getting ready to go out there and take the field. But a lot of guys do that. I think he's like that kind of guy. Like, you'll always hear people say, that's the kind of guy you need on your team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Dennis Gardeck is the kind of guy you want on your team.
plays with his hair on fire.
Yeah, we heard that a lot when the Jags got him. That was a lot of the conversation of like the player, but the type of guy that you want to fill voids on your defense, but also just kind of in the locker room type of guy. But do you think, I mean, we're talking about him sitting on these free agent, towards the top of free agent list, somebody use him because we're talking, you just mentioned, that situational third down pass rusher, but somebody out there has to be looking at him like, oh, he'd be starting.
Like a 3-4 outside backer. Can you put him in the Steelers?
Yeah.
I mean, they got their guys. They don't need them. I'm just saying, like that kind of
type of defense.
That kind of defense, standing
TJ
up.
Watt went down with that rib injury because of the
needle?
puncture. Yeah, the puncture.
Thanks, Doc.
I know. But yeah, Gardeck had 3 sacks in just 7 games in 2024, 6 sacks in 2023. So at this
the 3
point,
came in one game.
Right. You'd
But
like
still,
to ask, that's true. You'd like to ask Anthony Campanile, like, what was the thought process on not using him more to get after the quarterback when the guys that you have, obviously, Trayvon at some points in time injured, Eric Armstead in the interior at some points in time injured towards the end of the season. And then you're not seeing DeWan Smoot and Emmanuel Ogba get to the quarterback that often. So, like, why wasn't Gardeck used more?
Right.
Even a Devin Lloyd, we talked about wanting to see him go after the quarterback more in injury. So during that time when he was injured, trying to see what you could do with the Gardeck in those situations, I think would have been fitting too.
Yep. I wonder if I'm sure he could, but could he play Sam and base and then rush the passer and still play special teams? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, he's no Travis Hunter, and by the way, Greg Newsome was also on the under the radar free agent list according to CBS Sports.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I don't.
I just don't like it.
He's got a nice car
like
deal. He's on the car commercials. So that's good for him. He's got a good agent there. But I don't know if I got to look if it's between Buster and Greg. I'm going Buster all day long
for sure.
But they like Greg for a reason. He just gave up too many plays for me.
Yeah.
Especially, I feel like it's seared in our brains, that one against the Bills in the postseason.
Yeah.
When Brandon Cooks caught the ball for 36 yards.
But remember, even when he first got here, he gave up.
It was almost immediately where we're like,
yeah. And then it's getting here new. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it's just, but they did say, I saw that report, like from like 21 to 24, he was considered one of the better cover corners in the league. Greg Newsome. Did you see that in that little write-up?
Yes.
Yeah, it said something like that.
The
like
2021 first-round pick hasn't been able to recapture the form he had early in his career, but he is just 25 years old. He was one of the NFL's better corners from 2021 to 2023.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So there you have it. We shall see.
It's been what have you done for me lately?
Sorry.
What have you done?
Greg.
All right, 1 segment to go.
Taylor's like cutting you to the bone.
That is correct. I'll bring you today's Pest of the Day on the other side. Keep it right here, 10 to next on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and heels.
Bought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
The riders who face Daytona Supercross are built different. Withstanding the most unforgiving and grueling track is not just a point of pride, but of pure grit and determination. This battle can only be felt in person. Witness the action unfold at the only place in Florida where the biggest names will battle it out under the lights. Daytona Supercross is built different. It's built for champions. It's built for fans. The gate drops Saturday, February 28th. There's only one place to be. Secure your tickets and trackside access at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296. Find Salem, NMLS ID 1182429. Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
The month for love is a perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live, from closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. With their new showroom now open, they've extended the offer of 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation and go see that incredible new showroom by calling 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, checked by Bowden Iron Associates.
The Players' Championship returns to TPC Sawgrass March 10th through 15th. Experience golf's most iconic stage with enhanced food and beverage offerings, interactive fan attractions, and an atmosphere built for every type of fan. See the best players in the world, including world number 1 Scotty Scheffler, 2025 champion Rory McIlroy, and fan favorite Brooks Koepka take on the legendary Stadium Course and the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, you talk a lot about a diamond's cut grade. Why is a diamond graded for cut?
Frank, that's simple. We cut grade diamonds to show a measurement of beauty and light return to the person looking at the diamond so they can understand the value difference between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one cut for maximum weight. Now, it gets a little more complicated when you find out that the American Gem Society Laboratory actually assigns performance grades and proportion grades using patented computer software and grades for polish and symmetry using a microscope. The end result of cut grading is a final grade that can go from a 0 or ideal to a 10, which is poor. Each of these grades are priced a little differently. That's why you can see a diamond with a fine color and clarity priced low, particularly on the internet, because a trained gemologist won't buy it for resale because of the poor cut. Unfortunately, these type deals aren't good deals. They're bad deals for the unknowing customer.
Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
United States netted another goal, so
Yeah,
it is USA 2, Slovakia nothing, as there's about 13 seconds left, and obviously counting down until the end of the first period before the first intermission. And it should go to intermission with the U.S.
There you
up
go.
2-0. So that is good news.
Getting physical. They're getting a little scrappy.
They were. There's
Yep.
been a few around the net. Little shoving.
Yeah.
Eichel got into a
That's
little
hockey for
something.
ya.
Yeah, it's good.
But there you have it. Time now for today's Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online, Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They do a great job at our house, as well as Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. I'm just going to go with the fact that we've seen a lot of sad things recently. And I was telling you guys off the air about a journalist up in Knoxville that passed away in a car accident. He has a 4-year-old son. His name was Wes Rucker. 4-year-old son. And then his wife is pregnant with their daughter on the way due in May. And so I can only imagine what that family is going through dealing with a death that
Devastating.
tragic. But also I saw there's a guy that worked for the Tampa Bay Times for a long time, Joey Knight, and he battled cancer and he passed away this week. And so it's just been a lot of stuff like that I've been seeing on social media, and it's just so sad.
Yeah, there was another actor, Eric Dane, who
Yes.
was in
Yeah, I
Grey's
saw
Anatomy.
that.
He
Yeah.
passed away
ALS.
from ALS, and that was fast
Quick,
because he
yeah.
well, granted, he announced it like
Right.
a last year, around a year ago. So how long he actually knew, I don't know, but so sad. And I loved Grey's Anatomy. He was one of my favorites on there. So yeah, a lot of sadness in that.
Yeah,
in that
let's
world.
turn the tides and
Yes.
focus on more positive stuff.
Let's hear about babies being born.
Yes,
'Cause those are gifts. Those are fun.
Those are fun.
You know, absolutely. I went to my friend Kevin Porter's sandwich shop. His wife came in with their little baby girl,
Oh,
3
so
months.
cute.
So awesome.
That's a great age.
Oh,
Yeah.
just awesome. I love it all.
Yeah,
All the stages are good.
that's
You
true
know,
too. By the way, if you had a
even
son,
Certain stage. You know, I always tell dads, I'm like, all right, listen, this is what's going to happen. When you first have to go out and buy tampons for your daughter, you're going to put it between the bacon and the eggs and kind of hide it. After a while, you're just going to be like, screw it. Here it is. I'm a girl dad. This is what they need, and here we go. You know what I mean? I love when I got a call. I'm like, do we need regular or what do we sport? What do we? They're like, Dad, I'm like, just tell me what you need. I'll grab it for you.
That's amazing that you're willing to do that.
Oh, well, I mean, come on. They need it.
If you had a son, I'm assuming he would have played football if he was able
If he wanted to,
If he
yeah.
wanted to,
I wouldn't
right?
make him, no.
So what position would you have wanted him to play? Linebacker or something else?
Quarterback.
Okay.
Make all the money. Make all the money. And, I wouldn't say date the cheerleader because I'm a, meathead linebacker and I got the cheerleader. So, just be the quarterback. Yeah. Be the quarterback or be a really good golfer, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Get in
Or
that
something
golf
else.
world.
Yeah. Baseball player. Great. Whatever they find.
Sure.
Little Hack he's been playing T-ball, and the
watching that.
videos are so he's
cute.
fast. I was
He
like,
is.
get it.
He
He's
runs like
so
Ron
cute.
Say a little bit, the penguin.
I know.
You remember the penguin they used to call him?
So cute, though.
Yeah, he is. He's hustling, too.
I know.
Hustling to it.
Let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes, what a heartbreaker for UNF last
Oh,
night.
man.
Oh,
That is
gosh.
just awful. Tough way to lose a basketball game. It's tough to find moral victories, but, it was an unbelievable effort, and you hope that at least it can build something in terms of momentum as they get closer to the ASUN tournament. But, boy, yeah, that was a heartbreaker.
All right, so the United States is now up 2-0
Oh, great.
on Slovakia. What's the final score going to be since you got it right the
What
other
did
day?
I say, 3-2? I'll stick with 3-2.
Okay.
I mean, it's still possible. So, yeah. So I'll say U.S. wins 3-2.
Okay.
We get a
And
little bit of a scare, but hang on.
I remember your score prediction for Florida Ole Miss was Florida something, Ole Miss something.
Yeah. I have no idea what I said.
Something to something.
But
You got it right, though.
Yeah.
Florida will score,
But
I'm
yeah,
guessing.
I think Florida wins. I think it'll be fairly comfortable. So Ole Miss is dreadful rebounding. So this is just the last thing that they need to see is Florida showing up in their gym. So
Yeah, how do you think those team meetings this week have gone when it comes to showing the film?
yeah, I mean, I'm sure they will be fired up.
Sure.
Because it's a chance to, in front of their home crowd, sort of, it's a chance to sort of salvage whatever you can left of what's been a disappointing year. And they have a good coach. I mean, Chris Beard obviously knows what he's doing, but yeah, they're on a long losing streak. If Florida shows up, it should be a game that they've got several mismatches they can take advantage of. So we'll certainly talk about that coming up on the Frangie Show. Pete Prisco will join us to talk Jags and NFL at 5:15. So looking forward to it.
All right, sounds good.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. We shall be listening. Have fun at the baseball.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
All the baseball games.
It's going to be a warm one. I was like, feels like summer weather tomorrow. And then we get a little bit of a cold, and then next weekend it's back to warm. So I feel like we're getting into that winter. Our 1 month winter is about over.
Yeah, I think spring is on the horizon
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anything fun over the weekend for you?
Dance, a lot of dance.
Yes.
Harley's dancing for DA tomorrow night. And then for Nancy Dance Studios on Sunday at UNF all
Okay.
day. 8 a.m. First dance. Let's go.
Overlapping with hopefully a USA
That's
versus
right. I'll be on my
Canada.
phone. Dad, what are you watching? I'm watching you, babe. I'm watching you. You look great.
USA.
What up? Kidding. I love watching I love watching my
course,
kids
yeah.
perform. And Harley kicked butt. We watched her
Yeah.
from Pete's. I told her, I'm like, she's like, people were watching from Pete's. I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
babe, we had a little cheering section for you. And she scored very, very well. She did really great.
She's a badass.
She is.
For
That's right.
sure. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talk, and we will talk to you on